Ladies and gentlemen, today I'd like to talk about what I get the most questions about: my cell phone. Now, typically the questions are like, you're a computer engineer, you study communications, you study signal processing. Why in the world do you have a non smartphone? Well, what we're going to do is, after we roll the initial intro here, we're going to come back and I'm going to tell you why I use a not so smartphone. Okay, so it wasn't very long ago, or actually, who am I kidding? It was a long time ago that these devices were actually out on the market. They were the TV VCR combo. Now, the interesting thing was when I was in college, okay, undergrad, studying electronics and computer engineering, these were actually considered to be, at least design wise, probably not the greatest idea. And at least at the time, the idea was this, or the thought was this: if one device fails, you've probably just lost both of those devices. Now, true enough, electronics has come a far way since then. Devices are significantly more reliable. But let's say, for instance, we're talking about cell phones here, remember? If you're actually traveling around, you're mobile with your cell phone, if you actually lose your cell phone, you're actually losing all your devices all at once, or very many of your devices all at once. So even though the reliability of the electronics has gotten better, the same or very similar concept still, remains. If you lose one, you lose them all. In the case of the TV VCR, if one stops working, chances are both will stop working. Today, if you lose your cell phone, if you leave it on a bus somewhere or someone steals it, guess what? You've lost all your devices. So, for this reason, this is one of the reasons why I want to keep them separated. I don't want all my electronic devices, all my smart devices. I don't want everything all in one. Yes, that is right. I just cannot wrap my mind around the cost of cell phones today. Um, and of course, the iPhone is probably iPhone 10 is probably the worst of them all at $1,000 for an iPhone. Um, but no, I can't wrap my mind around it. I cannot see myself paying that much money for that device or any other device. So even cell phones that are around the 600, $700 area, the four, $500. I cannot wrap my mind around it. Now, many people may say, well, you can get like a phone plan where you go under contract for 2 or 3 years and don't end up paying a whole lot for the iPhone or for the cell phone, the smartphone that you're getting. And that is probably true. However, though, I do not like contracts. So that also doesn't work for me. I hate the idea of contracts. I hate the ideas of loans, although I have a few, but I think they were wisely chosen. But I hate those loans because it makes you feel like you're locked in. Someone is actually kind of controlling you and what you're doing. So I personally try to stay away from the loans. I don't care for I just think the prices are expensive. So that is a second reason why I'm not looking at purchasing a smartphone. I just think the prices are just a little bit out there for me. So here's the lowdown on your cell phone. Many people do not realize this, but today's cell phone, honestly, is nothing more, or in addition to all the cell phone stuff you can do with it, it's also a tracking device. And every time you add a new app to your phone, you are potentially adding an additional organization that keeps track of you, collects your data, and then sells it to someone else. Now, the question is, what are these people doing with your data when they get them? Now, many of them are using the data to, let's say, pitch certain products at you when you're in certain parts of, let's say, your neighborhood or the city or around the country. But who knows what this information is being used for? Now, I personally am a person that, values privacy. So to have someone tracking me around, my neighborhood, checking where I move or what's going on with me, it just doesn't appeal to me. Now, if you don't believe me, I would suggest that you actually check out this CBS news story. You can do a quick Google search on it. It's if you Google unregulated business of your location data, just take some time to watch that, and you'll see that the amount of data that you're actually giving away for the convenience that you're getting from, honestly, an expensive cell phone. I feel like I'm Kevin Hart about to explain his bank account or the way his bank account works. All right, so here's my solution. All right, instead of having one device, I have four devices. First, I have my cell phone, which you're very much familiar with at this point. I have a tablet that has a front-facing and back-facing camera, or front-facing and back-facing cameras, and also has a GPS on board. I also have a second tablet. Now, do I need the second tablet? The answer is no, but because of the size of the first tablet, the second one gives me a little bit more mobility. And then my third device, well, that's just a flashlight, because a lot of these cell phones come with flashlight, but none of my tablets or the cell phone actually comes with a flashlight. All right, so what happens if I lose one device? Well, I still have the cell phone, I can still make calls, and I can still use the second tablet to use apps that I've downloaded. So what does this all cost me? Well, when I purchased the cell phone, it cost me $50. Tablet 1, $76.21. Tablet 2, which remember, I do not need, but I have it for mobility purposes, cost me $59.97. Flashlight, $12, bringing my total price to $198.19. Alright, so what can I do with them all? Well, obviously I can make cell phone calls with the cell phone. Because the tablet actually has GPS on it, I can put almost any application or app that I need on there. The second tablet, because it's actually using a GPS, I can put most of the applications that I actually need on there. So as you can see, this all covers everything I need to do. And of course, the flashlight, well, it's pretty obvious, right? All right, so I get it. If I'm using the app for free, I have to give something up. I understand that. But when I'm finished using the app, I'm going to turn the app off along with my tablet. And then at that point, I want to regain my privacy by using my good old cell phone.